viewers and watchers from behind the screen, we're going to be doing something a little bit different than what I typically do. Here, we're going to be doing a Get Ready With Me, but specifically a cosplay Get Ready With Me Docm77 edition, because his is one of the more complicated cosplays to get into, and I thought this would be a fun idea, just to give you a little bit of a show into how I do the things that I do. So, to start, I've got to gather my things up. What I need for that area for today is the arm, the tripod, and a set of horns, which I'm going to need to brush out, because it appears they've gotten a little bit frizzy in the box. I've got to pull out Doc's sweater and pick out the wig, which we're going to use that one. The little metal face pieces right here, fake sharp teeth, goggles, and a glove. Now with the lighting of the tripod, which has the ring light on it, and all of my accessories and important items pulled out already, I've got to get myself ready. So let me get in my base outfit and transition to the makeup. And there we go, the shape-shifting begins. I'm going to be taking my little bucket because I have too much cosplay supplies, and it includes everything, including sanitary stuff, just to wipe and wash and all that thing. I put the things that I need in the little tub that I keep inside of it. I bring them over to my little station, and in my little station that we've got here, my handheld mirror. It's not a handheld mirror, it's a table mirror. It's a tiny circle mirror to do my makeup in. I don't know what to tell you. I've got my box right here full of all the different things that I am going to need, so let's start doing this. One of the first things I do is put on the wig cap, because that tells me where lines are going to be on my face, where the wig starts, that kind of thing, and I don't want to get paint in my hair if at all possible, and so I do it like this. And I do the double cap, where I do that one, and then I do another one on top just to make sure to grab it all. So once that's on, I am already looking funky. I am bald now. I pull out the face plates, the little face pieces that I use for the metal eye. I know that most of the time those kind of accessories get put on last, but with the face pieces, they get put on the face directly, and then I put the face paint on, because if you put the oil-based face paint, it automatically removes a lot of the adhesive that you're going to need for it to stick on. It's just going to stick on to the makeup that's already on, which is why I already had all of my makeup off and ready to go at the start of this video. The first one I'm going to put on is going to be this one. It's not actually adhered yet, it's just my face is sticky, I guess, I don't know. So I'm going to put that one on here, and then I'm going to put the eyebrow, and then I'm going to put the one down the jaw. You've got to be very careful in this stage, because if anything gets stuck to your face that you don't want it stuck to your face, it's going to be there the whole time. I sort of press it down, hold it there for a while. They're all little thin cardboard that I put layers on top so they stick well, but they're held together by little bits of wire that you can kind of see between them, but I wanted to point that out. It's a fairly simple design. I get to put this one basically right on top of it, and then this one right here, completing the eyepiece. I am not actually going to put this one on quite yet. I'm going to trace this one and put the jawline one on. That way I can do the eye makeup and everything else just a little bit easier. You can also kind of see the way I do that outline. It's not a full one, but you can see these sort of lines about where this is going to stick. So the next thing we're going to do is put the green on. I take this light lime and add some black paint into it, and it's all face paint. I mix it together, and I have pre-mixed this today. Just getting ready for it. And then we create this dark green colour. I get quite a bit on my brush when I do this. I'm purposely getting excess, and I'm not covering everything either, because at this point I just need to get it on my face to know what we're working with. Once we've got this kind of patchwork on it, I take the makeup sponge and see how much I can spread that bit of paint out. And that's the first coat of green. Let me touch that up. Make sure we're all the way green. There we go. A little bit better. We've got those spots around the eyes. You still see a little bit right around the eyes, but I fill those in with eyeshadow when I'm doing those eye makeup things. So I get to attach the little metal eyebrow piece now, and I get to start doing some more fun makeup things, which is adding the contour. Basically, I use some black to outline the jaw. I use that same black to do a beard and fill in this eyebrow. And then I do some more contour around the nose, and I add the mouth part, which is very fun for me. So, I'm going to attach the eyebrow. I think that should be good. Let's add ourselves some contour. Same with the way that I do the green. I kind of tap it onto the area, and then I go back and fill it in. Now that we've got some of that contour, some of that definition of the face, not a lot, but some of that, we're going to do the other parts with the black paint, which is going to be the eyebrow and the beard. I also use similar colours through the whole thing because it kind of ties it together. It was also because I didn't have all of the colours for a while, and I work with what I got, but I left it because it ended up being a feature. While we're at it, because I forgot it earlier, I do like to define the throat a little bit because, again, it's just a small effect that makes it look slightly more masculine. And now that we've got that, I'm going to switch from the green and black brush to a smaller little black brush. That way I can add tiny little strokes and give a little bit more detail to the beard. And I get to do the mouth thing. The mouth thing that I do is kind of similar to the way that you see the creeper mouth in Minecraft itself, so it's another way of doing creeper. I start just by doing this little line off to the sides of the mouth, and once I think I got them slightly even, I'll make a V underneath, like that. From the outer corners of the V, I do a little swipe, and I'm going to fill in the top lip. There we go, we filled in the top lip. I do sometimes go back and fill things in, such as kind of filling in the teeth, because I messed up and I smudged it a little bit, but that's just fine. The next two things are going to be the eye makeup stuff. But before we do that, I am going to put some setting powder on, because we really don't want to smudge it, and with such a detail around the eye, we've got to be very careful. Got my brush, I got my powder, I'm going to do that. Already looking a little bit better. If you want it all the way set, you've got to do a couple layers, especially with as much of makeup that I'm using. But we just put on the first or second layer of setting powder. I just smeared face paint all over myself. Okay. This also tells me where I need to touch up versus what looks like it should at this stage. Typically, this is also when I put in the sharp teeth. Simply so I don't get much makeup on them, but I'm going to hold off today because they do give me a slight lisp. I'm going to close up the makeup palette for now. I'm going to be using eyeshadow and other stuff. If I need to go back and grab some black or some green, then I do so, but it is what it is. Start with the green, that way we can do just around the eyes. Surprisingly or not surprisingly, I also use some of the green eyeshadow to fill in areas that the face paint doesn't like. Because it's a powder, it just behaves better. This sort of just cleans up the areas around the eyes. But I don't actually do too much green above the eye, because for that we do something a little bit different. Black eyeshadow. I do the black just around the eyes, but I want to keep it close to the end of the eyelid. I don't do black all the way around the bottom, but I do want to kind of blend it inwards to the center. And then we add some red, because my eyes are red. Let's make the red pop. Let's do the red closer to the top of the eyelid and blend it into the black near the eyes. Then let's grab the other eyeshadow brush and kind of get that green blended back in at these edges for wherever I messed up. I'll take it. Close that back up and we kind of put our brushes and our things back in, except for the setting powder brush, the brush that I used to brush that off, because of course I need two of them. It's just easier for the face paint. A little thing of setting powder and setting spray, because the powder's not enough and I like to be very careful. Fantastic. Let's get the rest of the costume on. So I'm going to put the turtleneck on and then the next. I figured out at this point generally where to put the neckline. I do a little bit further than I should, just because sometimes this folds, sometimes I pull at it, something like that. Fabric folds differently each time. Put on the arm. It's a bit odd that I put on the arm after I put on the shirt, but it does make it easier than having to worry about both pulling the neck over my face without anything getting caught, and pulling the arm through without anything getting caught, because there are plenty of little things for it to get caught on. I put the glove on first because the arm is actually fingerless. Sort of roll up the sleeve, and by that I mean all the way up. Put the arm on. And now we got an arm on. Then the wig. We got to put the horns on. The horns and the ears. I didn't get to brush them all the way, but I did kind of smooth them out. It's fine to look slightly weird, but we don't want it to be standing outward. And then, because you can clearly see the headband, I'm not ashamed of the headband, it's kind of necessary, and most people know they're there, but I put the goggles on top of them. Okay, then we get to do some more fun steps. I've got to put on my white button up, put the pins on, so let me grab that. Got the shirt, let's go. And we roll this sleeve up right to where the turtleneck sleeve is. You can kind of see it underneath. It's right there. Okay, I've got good news and bad news. Bad news, I cannot find the white glove that I typically use. It's just gone, I guess. It never got put back in the box of accessories and I forgot about it as I was getting things ready. So I suppose it doesn't exist anymore. Good news, I have another black glove. Then we get to add the pins. It's the same few pins that I kind of rotate through everyone. I've got more, I've got less. But depending on who it is, I pick which one out of the bunch. For Doc, I've got TNT. TNT. Yeah, a little scuffed creeper looking dude. Kind of creeper-like. And NHO. We go. Docm77. I do got some other details that I'm not like wearing today because I'm not wearing it out, such as the hooves. I'm not wearing them to film. Instead, we get to put it up on the other tripod, the one that stands tall as the ring light on it. I've got this curtain backdrop. I get to stand here and I get to film. So thank you for watching my little Get Ready With Me Docm77 Cosplay Edition. It is a little bit funny. I've not done this before, so I really hope it turns out well, but I have some filming to do. I say checking my watch that doesn't exist. Actually, I have a pocket watch I can check. Look at this beautiful time. Kind to yourself, be kind to others. Be like the goat, and I'll see you next time.